Ball went 5-5-35 to Montrose. No score. Knox and South Croydon. Knox 1-4-10 to South Croydon 1-3-9. Division 2, Mirrabah 4-1-25 to Wanturna South 1 goal straight 6. Park Orchards 2-1-13 to Upper Country Gully 1 goal straight. Division 3 and Heathmont 1-3-9 to South Belgrave 1 goal straight 6. Warrandyte 1-3-9 to Donvale 1 behind 1 point. And Division 4, Coldstream 2-2-14 to Sylvan 1-2-8 and Kilsyth 6-7-43 to Nutter Whiting 2 behinds 2 points.
So as the tap one down, is breaking through there is Gibbons. Loose footy is Glen Waverley trying to pump this one forward. In there is Johnston for Forest Hill. He wins this one off the deck, gives a blind handball over the top. As they're taking it right on one bounce, kicking in towards the full forward area, and that's going to beat everyone just to the right-hand side of the far point post there from Palmer as Pickering sees it out.
A good result for Forest Hill there rather than a point, because now they got the opportunity from a stoppage to score a goal as Glen Waverley Hawks did in the first quarter.
Pim might do it again.
So boundary throw in here, just 40 seconds into this second term out here at Central Reserve. Listening on 98.1 Eastern FM. Parthenides does the rucking again, taps it down, trying to go off the ground. There was Mitch Potts, but lays a pretty good tackle on his opposite number there, Cardamone, and will have a ball up.
Who'd have thought the sun would be shining like this at the start of the second quarter at, 12:30 today?
Not after last night, no. Still got some washing I've got to deal with when I get home. It's this one tapped down, one by Pim. He puts a high up and under to the right of everything and out of bounds on the full.
So the answer to your question, Alana, is no, he can't do it.
I knew I was waiting for that.
He can try.
Yeah, she set herself up then, didn't she, Gav?
Exactly.
No pressure, Pim. No pressure, mate.
I'm not a fence sitter, guys. I'll put my neck on the line. So.
Okay.
So here's Dunn to bring it back in now here for the Hawks. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Stoneham with the spoil over the top and boundary throw in.
That was a good spoil, because that was a certain mark to Parthenides there, I thought.
So it's 60 metres around from the goals of Forest Hill. They trail by 13 points a quarter time. First 2 minutes they've done all the attacking. Let's see what they can do. It's an interesting ruck contest. Stoneham came over the top. Underneath the ball was Davis. He couldn't get a hold of it. Now he picks himself up and picks up the ball. Kicks around the corner. Stretching forward was Taylor. He might use a teammate. Goes alone with a kick around the corner. Big contest for the ball in the forward pocket for Forest Hill. And they're all wrapped up. It'll be a ball up 30 metres from the goal of the Zebras. So they're just trying to get some momentum here. Some quick kicks out of packs. And they made some good ground. Forest Hill again. Parthenides wins the tap. Ground level, the pack of players jump on the ball. And it'll be very hard to see who's at the bottom of it. And I think that's Dale picking himself up with the ball. And he'll hand it back to the umpire. So he made no ground after that first ball up. Parthenides, he might grab it. He decides against it just in case. He spilled it to ground. He jumps on the ball. The umpire has the whistle to his mouth, but he's not going to penalise Parthenides. And it'll be another ball up. Look how many players there is around it. A quick count, there's at least about 8 each. And that's only in a circumference of about 3 square metres. Pim wins the tap. Musa Amin was clever. He got outside the pack to read it well. He gets some help with a teammate. Eddie's trying to run out of defence. His hand pass in front of the teammate. Just a quick kick off the ground. And then made a quick 40 metres. Have Glen Waverley. Hand passing in front of himself was Cook. And he was trying to hand pass to so he could run under it. But the boundary line beats him. And it's out of bounds at half forward for Glen Waverley. Let's look at all the scores around the grounds with Barry Cox.
Division 3 at Baronia 3-3-21 to Scoresby, no score. And as quarter time score, Division 2, Mirrabah 4-2-26 to Wanturna South 2-1-13.
So Glen Waverley absorbed a lot of pressure in the first 2 minutes. Are in attack. Pincock picks it up, but off the ball there's been a push, and the Hawks will get a free kick. It's in the hands of Humphreys. He's quick to play on. Loads up a ball inside 50. Oh, what a big mark! He was really in the contest. He was just making room for himself, and Ferguson takes it. What a one grab that was, because he only just pushed off his opponent.
Great pair of hands, wasn't it? It stuck like glue.
I felt like the Forest Hill player was going to come over the top from the side, and Ferguson reintroduced himself into the contest, and what a grab, sticky hands. So from 30 metres out, he's not much of an angle here for Ferguson, and he's missed all his opportunities so far. Looking to put his first on the board. It's left side, it just sneaks in. So it's a goal to Ferguson. He's having a great season. It's goal number 6 for Glen Waverley today. 6-2-38, leading Forest Hill 3-1-19. Ferguson, 37 goals this season so far.
That's one move that I think that if I was Martin Stillman, I'd be very worried about Ferguson on James Powell. Ferguson is far too quick on the lead for him. He's just leaving James Powell in his wake.
I agree with you, Ray. If he had a kick straight, he would have been on, 3 goals now, and probably we would be saying he's one of the best players on the ground.
It's a match-up that really worries me as far as Forest Hill go.
So Stoneham back into the ruck, wins the tap down. They're trying to grab that one. There was Davis here for Forest Hill. It's loose on the deck, doing well. There was Johnston. He kicks this one in towards the forward 50 here for Forest Hill. The ball evades everyone, and running onto it now is Pickering here for the Hawks. Gets a grubber of a handball out in towards the flank in the direction of Dunn. Goes through his legs. Parent's in there as well for Forest Hill. Lays the tackle on Dunn, and he manages to get a kick out now. It evades Broad. Doing the roving well there was Denham. His hand pass ends up with the Glen Waverley Hawks, and they come down the centre wing area now with a kick up towards the half forward, and well, taking a strong mark there for Forest Hill was Willoughby. He centres this one in towards the centre of the ground, and taking an uncontested mark in the centre of the ground here is Taylor. His kick is in short, and it's a good one here for the Zebras, and they're about 55 from home. Johnston has the footy.
So Palmer should go back and kick this goal, Ray. He's a beautiful kick of the football. He's a good long kick. And that was just a really good play set up there by Willoughby. Good intercept mark, great kick to Johnston. But they need to finish off with a goal.
So Palmer, excuse me, thanks for that correction, Alana. My 5s and 6s all over the place. Here's one kick in towards the goal square, and it's rushed through for the minor score there for the Zebras, and that's their second behind of the afternoon. They are 3-2-20 trailing Glen Waverley, 6-2-38, 6 minutes gone, second term. Let's go to Barry Cotts in the score centre.
Yeah, in Division 1, Vermont 3-5-23, lead Blackburn 1-5-11.
So the kick out is a torp, and it's got the distance. It looked wobbly, but it got all of 60, so it's nearly got to the centre circle, and Eddie picks it up at the back of the square. Can't evade the tackle.
Channeling his inner Ben Graham there. What's going on?
How good is a big torp from the fullback? It's so good.
Yeah, it's good to see, and it's hard to execute, so it's a risk. Tap down one by Parfanidi. Riddle grabbed it, running back into his defensive 50 to get some space. He couldn't do so, so he's been tackled to the ground, and Forest still maintain it in their area. So it's a ball up 50 metres out from goal for Forest Hill. Stoneham comes over the top, wins the tap down forward, and Min picks it up. His hand pass has been smothered. He gets it again. He walks himself out of a tackle. And now it's been got all the way to Sinden, who Sinden quickly kicks it, but it's all Forest Hill in the middle. The man on the mark comes in late, Sullivan.
25.
It's got to be 25 almost for encroachment. Denham takes the hand pass received. His kick out wide is too much for Tim Johnson. He goes in again, and he just bumps his way into the contest, and he just moves onto the ball, but the pack comes over the top of him. Finally some help came from Gibbons, but it'll be no free kick either way. Ball up out of flank for Forest Hill. Need the next goal just to maintain themselves in the contest. Quick kick from Glen Waverley, just makes some ground to the forward line, picked up by Sullivan, who's in front position. He spills it to the ground, and 2 tacklers come over the top, Owsley being one of them, and the opponent of Sullivan also. So it's now going to be a ball up outer wing of Central Reserve. 38 plays 20, 18-point lead to the Glen Waverley Hawks. Top of the ladder playing third. Picking up the ball is Cardamone on the outer wing. Or should I say Gibbons is in there and about. And it's going to be a boundary throw in outer side just in front of the scoreboard.
You're getting your ponytails mixed up over there.
I am. So I've got to look at the TV again, because there's that many. How many ponytails are in this?
I know. There's another 2 of them for Glen Waverley. There's ponytails everywhere.
So Parthenides manages to get a hand out there to Potts, and he's not going anywhere. The footy now ends up here with Willoughby, and Forest Hill move this in, and a good mark taken here by Taylor. He turns and props and spears it in towards full forward direction there. A Klein was spoiled away from him, giving chase his Parent. He's beaten to the footy there by Broad, Pickering, and away come the Hawks. Good hands out now here to Eddie. He goes by hand as well, and the Hawks now kick this up towards centre wing, and a good mark, almost jinxed Ben Sullivan as he spilled it over the boundary line.
Alana, I really like the work of Ian Taylor out there on that half-forward line for Forest Hill. He has had a heap of the ball.
Yeah, and he does some really good tackling, so defensively as a forward as well. He's really strong too. And I'm only jealous of the guys with the ponytails because I don't have one myself at the moment, all right?
So you got Gibbons, Owsley, you've got Johnson, Palmer, Dale. They've all got some ponytail of some sort.
Strong tackle applied there by Sullivan, and we'll have a ball up just to the right-hand side of the scoreboard on the Springvale Road side of the ground.
Pickering for Glen Waverley. He's got long hair as well. I think it's tied back in a ponytail. Yep, they're all sporting it.
As Palmer wins the tap down, Dale can't take it cleanly. Picked up here by Potts. He goes by hand. It's scrub it out. The Zebras come away with it though, and they pump this one in towards the centre of the ground. It's a foot race. Taken well here by Forest Hill. A long kick in towards the forward line, but Dunn is sitting up and under it. Cardamone was at least 20 metres behind it, and 25 is going to be the call as Cardamone came in over the mark late.
I'm glad they saw that one.
So Dunn on his own 50, looking for options upfield. Everyone's
Go the talk.
calls for the talk from the grandstand. Here's Gould trying to take the mark. His opposite number, Owsley, affected the spoil. The ball goes on to the turf, and the umpire says, "I'll have it, fellas."
Gould's worked his way into this game really nicely, actually. He's really good with that competitive clearance and stoppage work, so it's been a good day for him so far.
Yeah.
Rucks go at it. Half forward now for Glen Waverley. Hand pass on the up. Goes the way of Riddle. He tries to hand it off to a teammate galloping forward, but it's been pressured out of bounds, and we'll go to our score centre with Barry Cox.
Yep, and in Division 1, East Ringwood 2-4-16, all tied up with Norwood 2-4-16.
Interesting game there in Division 1, as in Division 4 football with Glen Waverley versus Forest Hill. Forest Hill from half back, kick it long to half forward, but in the way is Eddie. He's taken a few good marks in defence. He's got some options in the middle, but he's only looking boundary side to the wing. Musa fell over. That is Musa Amin. So now it allows Forest Hill through Palmer to pick up the ball, kicks it towards Cardamone. He's under a heap of pressure. Good work by the defender there in Pitts. He won against 3 players there, and the free kick goes to the teammate. And it'll be in the hands of Gould, who's quick to play on to Musa, and he put him under a heap of pressure, and it'll be a free kick against Glen Waverley Hawks. You've got to settle down, I think, because Gould won a good free kick, and it'll be Forest Hill who take the ball.
Oh, yeah. That was silly from Musa. I mean,
so it's Newman with the muddy jumper who will walk himself towards goal. It doesn't get to the 50. It's a very short 25 in my estimations.
Go the talk.
He's got the runner, and they'll kick it long. It's a muddy kick, and Casey, not great from Casey. I'm disappointed. And his kick didn't hit the target.
Oh, man.
And Casey tried to redeem himself, but he's hit his opponent too high, and that's hurt the Glen Waverley Hawk over the ball. And I think, is that Riddle on ground?
Yeah.
On the ground? That's a bad pass to Michael Casey, and luckily I'm not related, so it's
just throwing it out there right now, Gav.
So it's Riddle who picks himself up, shakes his head, and just tries to recompose himself. But from half back, he's got the freak. It gets to the Parfadides on the bounce. The bounce eludes him for the moment. At ground level, picked up nicely by Sullivan. Off to a runner and Amin. Amin spears the pass into Amin. It's not a double call. It's brother to brother. Musa to Adam, and Adam, the spear, takes the mark on the lead. And 30 metres out, he'll have a shot at goal for his second for the day.
And Musa stirring Newman up a little bit here. Let's go down to Barrett Beston.
There's a bit of feeling in this game now, boys. A little bit of activity down there, and I think getting right in amongst it was old mate number 28, Newman. He's been in the...
So Adam Amin has kicked one today. He's on 43 for season so far, and he does not miss, going towards the Waverley Road end. And it's a goal to Glen Waverley. They settle with 7th goal, 7-2, 44. Forest Hill 3-2, 20. It's a 4-goal lead against the run of play, I think, and there's a bit of push and shove in the forward line for Glen Waverley Hall.
Just a really disappointing bit of play there for Forest Hill. I mean, Glen Waverley gave away the 25-metre penalty, Casey with the worst kick of the day, and then to give that free kick away with just the too high, and to run it down untouched. I don't know why Gav Willoughby didn't go to pick the ball up and he went to do a bump, and then you see arm in to arm in, and it's just a really disappointing. One team held their composure, one team stayed rattled, and now the score's kind of, you know, really blown out of it.
There was a free kick to Forest Hill because of all that pushing and shoving on the Glen Waverley's forward line.
As Broad displays his kick off the side of the boot, Cruz does the roving, puts a low kick in towards half forward line. There is Creek, battles there with Eastman. Looked like he got one up really high, and S advantage paid by the umpires. The Zebras pump this one in towards half forward, and a good uncontested mark taken here by Gross. He goes over the top now here to Parent. Had two players to deal with. Here's Pincott now here for the Zebras. Cardamone can't get to the footy there for Forest Hill, and Parthenides ends up. There's a player down behind play for Forest Hill. Here's Riddle now. Riddle from his own 50 just chips a short one over to the far side of the ground, taken here by Broad.
I think it's Johnston.
Broad kicks this one to Sullivan. He plays quickly by hand, and away come the Hawks in towards their own 50. Going back with a flight there was Cook, and he's about 45 out on a tight angle. Looks like he's going to try and pump this one into the goal square. He does so. Plenty of players there in the contest. Well, going back with a flight there was Maguire, but we've got a free kick here.
An advantage.
And advantage paid, and well, that's a goal there to Gould. And the Glen Waverley Hawks add another 6 to their total. And a bit of a dog's breakfast at the back there for Forest Hill.
So Min was going back with the flight. Was going to mark it, I reckon, without the spoil chopping the hands. Gould took it off the pack and ran into an open goal.
Fair enough.
8-2-50 to 3-2-20. Glen Waverley by 30 points.
Look, what Forest Hill have just got to not worry about the physical that's going on out there. They've got to get back to playing football, because up until the last couple of minutes, when they were concentrating on the ball, they've been doing a lot better. But in the last couple of minutes, they've lost their way.
And Ray, what about Steinford in defence? That they can attribute that forward foray from Steinford deep in defence, just getting his foot to it, clearing. And as Glen Waverley load up going forward, Ferguson not in front position. He's led to the ball by Powell. It goes out of bounds in the forward pocket, and we'll go boundary side with Brett Beston.
Yeah, just picking up what Ray said, boys. There's a fair bit of niggle down here, and Forest Hill are getting sucked in, so they need to get that out of their game if they're to try and get themselves back into this match.
Well, I was speaking to some Glen Waverley Hawks supporters before the game, and I think East Burwood took it up to them physically last week, and they won the battle on the scoreboard, but I think they're not going to lose the battle on the field if there's any push and shove today. So this time it's Forest Hill trying to clear it through Johnston, and now they get it out a wing, running onto the ball nicely, taking the mark is Gross. So from the wing, he goes inside, but Fergus is going to chop it off. Pickering, should I say. So this time it's Evan Pickering. There's 2 Pickerings for Glen Waverley. He's a bit of a wobbly punt, but the only person who knew where it was going to go was Mitchell Potts, who took a chest mark as he judged it well. But I don't know how you could judge it, because that ball just floated off trajectory straight away. And Potts just led himself to ball, took the mark, and he's going to have a shot from beyond 50. Straight in front. He's going to use his left foot to try to, or right foot now. It's just the way he's carrying it. It looked like he's going to be a left footer, but he's missed to the right.
A moving player is always going to get to the ball before someone who's just standing still, and I think that was the difference there. Tim Johnson just waiting for the ball, Potts running at it, taking the mark.
But Potts wanted it more too, I think, Alana. And I think that's a story with Glen Waverley at the moment. They want the ball a little bit more than what Forest Hill do.
Well, the forwards are just using their judgment and looking at the ball. Their scoreboard now is Glen Waverley 8-3-51, leading by 31. Forest Hill at 3-2-20.
Let's go to Barry Cotts at the score centre.
Yeah, very quickly. In Division 3 quarter time, the Basin 2-1 to Ringwood 3 behinds 3 points, and in Division 4 Coldstream 3-2-20 leads Sylvan 2-5-17.
Thanks, Barry. There's the kick up towards the half-back flank as well. That's all Glen Waverley. That was too easy for Parthenides. He goes by hand. The kick now in towards the forward 50. Going back with a flight as Ferguson took it well on the bounce. Got no one to give the ball to, so he gives a handball into space as he was tackled. And it's taken now here by Dale for Forest Hill. And his kick out towards centre wing. A one-on-one contest. Pickering. And the ball loose on the deck as Klein dives in there with courage, but rove brilliantly here by Pickering, and he kicks a short one in towards centre wing. The mark taken there by Murray. Murray in towards the centre square, onto the lead here, looking there for the lead of Eastman. Can't get it. Sinden's in there for Glen Waverley, but the Zebras come up with it. The kick in towards Cardamone, and well read there by Dunn. He goes short out towards the centre wing area, and Broad has it now here for Glen Waverley. His kick finds Sinden there on the half forward flank. His kick in towards the 50, in towards the lead of Amen, and he takes it just inside the boundary line, 45 from home on the tightest of angles.
Dunn is playing all over Cardamone at the moment. Cardamone too busy looking to see where Dunn was, and Dunn just went and collected the football as easy as you like. And yeah, they've really got to start going for the ball and not worrying about where their man is.
Unfortunately for Cardamone, as you say, he's my mate, but he is only a one-position player, and that's unfortunate.
So I'm in. The check side kick is just a minor score, and that just adds 1 to the total here for Glen Waverley. They are 8-4-52. Forest Hill 3-2-20 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
One of the umpires was distracted by a bit of a fight, pull and a bit of a punch here and there, but it's now Glen Waverley turnover. It goes all the way from Eddie, and all alone is Potts, because Forest Hill might have been looking and have their attention directed off to the pocket where there is a bit of a to-do, and Glen Waverley got on with it from the kick out, and it's in the hands of Potts. We'll have a shot from just about the same spot as he did last time. From 50, straight in front. He assessed it from last kick, and he does not make a mistake. Long kick, no worries about the distance. He corrected the accuracy straight through the middle, and Glen Waverley move on to 9-4-58, and then all of a sudden it stretched out to a 38-point lead. Forest Hill are 3-2-20. Let's get some more scores around the grounds.
Yes, and in Division 1, Bourne is running away with this in the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. It's Bourne 8-8-56 to Montrose, 3 behind, 3 points.
A little bit one-sided out there between Bourne and Montrose.
Well, I didn't know what to watch there for. There was a little bit of a battle going off in the pocket, and then the game was still on, and Glen Waverley were the only ones playing it.
So Parthenides into the ruck, Palmer's into the ruck now here for Forest Hill, but they burst through now to the Zebras. A long kick in towards the direction of Pym, one-on-one with Steinfort. Bounce now here for Cardamone. He can't win it. He does so eventually. Gets it by hand. A quick kick-off by Owsley, and he's put it to the right. Just one behind there for the Zebras. And that's now 3-3-21, plays 9-4-58. The Hawks with a commanding lead. Dunn's going to have to go behind the side screen and get the footy.
We're going to have to study our ponytails. Taylor kicked that point.
Yes.
That's more of the man bun there from... that's the Brunswick Fitzroy ponytail.
I'm not going to correct your ponytails. I'll let you roll with it.
Try to work it out. But if we can't recognise Dunn with the shaved head and the small, small man bun, and the fact that he's going to try to kick it as long as he can, he's definitely recognisable as Dunn.
It's a distinctive man bun, his one.
Yes, so he's going to kick it to himself, and then he just easily kicks 50 metres, clears the defensive territory. Running onto the ball there is Eddie. He's under a heap of pressure. Got some help from Murray. Now the kick just bundles away to send off Ferguson off the one bounce. Picks it up, gives it to the runner and a min. He dips his knees, tries to get the high tackle. The ball goes to ground. No penalty to throw over side. It's now boundary side where Cook's got it. Cook gets onto his right foot, puts a long high ball inside 20 metres out. Ferguson nearly 2 grabs at it.
Oh,
and now over the top comes a defender, and it'll be a free kick for Owsley. So he hands it off to a runner. He'll get it back. So Owsley will clear defence for Forest Hill. He kick it as long as possible, hoping for a man to be there, but it's done. He just draws it in with the right hand, brings it to the left, plays on now, and Pickering makes good position. Ground level Murray. Murray runs in for the side 50 from the angle, puts it to goals. And there's no reaction, but the goal umpire will signal a goal. So that is another one to Glen Waverley Hawks. 10-4-64. It's becoming a procession to the Waverley Road end. They lead by 44. Forest Hill stagnant on 3-3-21. So I'll just get the score to update there to confirm it again. It's 10-4-64 to 3-3-21.
And that kick coming out of defence from wing high half forward has just been absolutely terrible for the Zebras in this quarter.
Let's go to Barry Cots at the score centre.
Yes, Division 1, 20-minute mark at the second quarter, and it's Noble Park 4-8-32 leading North Ringwood 3-6-18, and in Division 3, South Belgrave 3-3-21 is leading Heathmont 1-4-10.
Oh, the Jets not doing so well. I'm a bit nervous here. Stoneham wins the tap down. Muddy centre circle there. Stoneham goes in again to try and get that one. He's can't get a hand on it. Pickering can. Tunnel balls that one out to Parthenides. He's met solidly there by Gibbons and driven into the ground. The kick now in from Owsley in towards the forward 50 for the Zebras. Taken on the bounce here by Cardamone. Stops. Props. Gets a hand pass out. Looking there for Palmer. Beaten to it there well by Potts, and here comes the kick up towards centre wing now here for the Hawks. And, oh, brilliant. Oh, I thought he should have been paid that, did Cook. But Dale gets the handbar out now here to Denham and on to Pincott, taken there by his opposite number. And the kick, well, it's a 3-on-1 contest. Parthenides couldn't take the mark. It matters not because the Hawks have possession of the footy. Now, a quick kick up, back up towards the centre wing area, and a mark taken. Well, interesting. Cook, that wasn't paid again. A kick now here from Murray in towards the centre of the ground. The Hawks steady the ship here from Mitch Potts. Can't tell if that's mud on his leg or a tattoo. It's obviously a tattoo. He is done. Kicks out now here towards the half-forward flank. A long lead here by Ferguson, about 60 from home. Takes the mark. Chips this one in short. Back, a bit of give-and-go action because he's given it straight back to Broad. He's about 40 from home. Thought about the kick there to Amin. And looks like he's going to back himself and have a go, or at least put it into the goal square. Hugging the boundary line, about 45 from home. Here is Broad. He's already kicked one this afternoon. So Broad going to go off the right. His kick in towards goal. It's just the minor score to the near side. And Glen Waverley 10-5-65 lead Forest Hill 3-3-21. 25 minutes gone. We're into time, well into time on here in the second quarter.
Alana, just the way that Glen Waverley, they run the ball. Look, they really play this ground, you know, the way that should be played. And they play some magnificent football.
Yeah, and Broad is just running Johnston absolutely ragged over there on that wing, that far wing.
Creek's kick out went towards Broad of the opposition, but he dropped the ball on his own 50. So at ground level, Gibbons now fighting for the ball, but he just keeps in front of himself and goes out of bounds 55 metres around from Glen Waverley's Hawks goals. So Forest Hill, they had a good start to the quarter, but it's been all Glen Waverley with adding 5 goals, 3 for this quarter to only 2 behinds for Forest Hill. Parthenides wins the tap. Gibbons takes the roving duties. His kick was smothered, comes back to him, he hands it off to a runner. Now can Forest Hill mount a challenge as they go deep into the forward line, trying to get some good position there. Was the forward, Cardamone's out the back, and the defenders are escorting the ball over the line. So with all that momentum, Klein couldn't take the mark. Ground level, the ball went towards Forest Hill's goals, but misses to the right. So it's now 3-4-22 to 10-5-65. It's a 43-point lead to Glen Waverley.
But the difference that time, Ray, there was a contest. It wasn't just a kick straight to the Glen Waverley backman.
Looks like Newman's getting some work down there on the boundary there, Brett. We'll get your update on that. He hasn't come back on in the second quarter for the Zebras as the Hawks have the ball on their own half-back flank. Here's Broad again on the centre wing area. Chips a short one in the direction of Pickering. Can't take the mark as the Zebras come away with the footy. They move it out now here to Denham and on to Pincott in the centre of square. He chips a short one in here, the direction here of Palmer. It's just in front of him. Did well to take that one on the bounce. Kicks in towards the direction of Cardamone. Tried to use the body to muscle his way out. Klein's in there here for the Zebras. Pickering wins the footy and gives a hand pass to an unmarked Parthenides. Gets it back there to Pickering and on now here to Riddle. There's the Hawks just all over the Zebras there in their own back line as Pickering. Well, that evades him and Willoughby dived in on top. Pickering managed to force it forward with his hand and get it now here to Amin of the Musa variety. He kicks this one in towards half forward. Ferguson streams out from the 50, gets a hand pass into the centre square. It's picked up now here by Humphreys and back to Riddle. He pumps one in towards the Adam Amin direction. Oh, one-handed from Adam Amin. Mark of the day, maybe mark of the year contender there from Adam Amin. And that was a little too easy for Glen Waverley. And he's going to line up in the forward pocket from about 35 out and look for his 4th of the afternoon.
That was a sensational grab, running in the opposite direction to the ball, and to pluck that in with one hand was quite outstanding.
So leading goal kicker for the Hawks. He's going to line up from 35 out here, and this to potentially be the 11th goal for the Hawks this afternoon. And it's just to the near side, jinxed him. And it's 10-6-66 leads Forest Hill, 3-4-22 on the Bendigo Bank score. Let's go to Barry Cott to the score centre.
Yes, very quickly, a close game. Coldstream, Sylvan Division 4. It's Sylvan 5-5-35 to Coldstream 5-3-33.
Let's go down to Brett Best and boundary side.
Yeah, I asked about Mitch Newman, Steve. He's fine. He's just come off for a bit of a spell. He's the moneyest guy on the ground, but he looks fine. He'll be on again, well, in the third quarter as the siren goes.
Okay.
So it's half time.